So, good evening, everyone. I hope all of the participants are doing well. On behalf of Experts Trainers Academy, I welcome you all for the final training session on ISO 45001 Lead Auditor course. Prior to starting the session, guys, I just wanted to know if I'm loud and clear, if I'm audible to everyone. You can just give me a thumbs up, guys, if you are able to hear me. I hope I'm audible to everyone, guys. Okay, thank you. I hope all of us have joined for last 3 days also, because last 3 days was very interactive session wherein we have discussed all the clauses of ISO 45001, including auditable clauses, including non-auditable clauses, including various way how to do ISO 45001 or HSC or OHS management system audit or other audits which in line with the requirement of ISO 45001. Apart from the audit, Apart from the audit, we have already also discussed about what challenges as an auditor we face, how to be very diplomatic and polite at the same time, how to carry out ways to carry out the opening meeting. We also try to understand in less period of time what are the ways we can carry out an effective OHS audit. Yes, yes, yes. I'll be sharing the screen, sir. Just for a while, I'm trying to discuss with everybody what we have discussed till now. Once I have discussed, then today we'll be also seeing other clauses also. So I hope, guys, last three session was very much informative for all of us, and we will be doing the certification course for ISO 45001 lead auditor. So, guys, once again, this said Zen. I welcome you all for this final training session of ISO 45001, which is organized by Experts Trainers Academy in association with IIRSM or International Institute of Risk and Safety Management. Prior to starting the session, let me give you a small introduction. Yes, sir, I'll be sharing the screen. No, don't worry. I'll be sharing the screen soon. Let me share the screen first. Okay. I hope my screen is visible, guys. So, prior to starting the session, let me give you a small introduction about IIRSM, because this course is backed by IIRSM. Whenever you will opt for the certification of ISO 45001, your certificate will be on behalf of IIRSM or International Institute of Risk and Safety Management. So, International Institute of Risk and Safety Management, first of all, guys, is an UK-based professional membership organization with global footprint. IIRSM supports individuals and organizations around the world for risk and sustainability management. Currently, IIRSM has member for more than 100 countries. Any certification, for example, this ISO 45001 certification, which is backed by IIRSM, will increase the credibility of the individual who will opt for the certification at national as well as international level, and it will help the individual for their interview and further promotion in their respective field. So, for those who are new, or might be possible that all of us is aware of Experts Trainers Academy. For those who are new, let me give you a small introduction of Experts Trainers Academy. So, Experts Trainers Academy is leading professional training institute. We specialized in occupational health and safety, engineering, and quality management certification. This academy offers globally recognized programs such as IOSH, OSHA, lead auditor, for which you are all which we are for which we all are here for the training, and other diploma courses in the field of health, safety, and environment. So, guys, this is the last and final day of this training course. As I have said earlier, that today we'll be doing two things. First and foremost thing, we'll be going through each and every clauses, and parallel to this, we have created an ISO 45001 audit checklist. Let me show you here. I hope the checklist is visible to everyone. So at the same time, we will be also going through the checklist. Parallelly with this, we will also try to understand in each and every clause requires some set of documentation that needs to be verified when you will be going for the audit. So we'll try to understand what are those documentation and how to see those documents. So, guys, in front of your screen, what I'll do, I have divided this particular, I am showing both of the things. So we'll do two things parallelly. On the right hand side is the international standard of ISO 45001. which you can see have all the clauses from clause 1 to clause 10. We will be going through each clauses, and will be also try to understand what does each clauses means and what are the other documentations which are required for each clauses. So as you can see, as I've told you earlier guys, these first three clause which include scope, normative reference, and terms and definition. These three clause is known as non-auditable clause. First three clause, I'm telling once again, first three clause is also known as non-auditable clause. Here, the non-auditable clause means those clauses which we do not require for the audit. However, we can refer them if required. Scope statement. So when I say about statement, let me take you to the scope statement. So statement specifically define for define the purpose of this particular standard. First of all, what is the purpose of this particular standard? And it also defines the applicability of ISO 45001. When you read the scope, you'll be able to understand it explains the standard intent. What does the standard intend? For example, you can see point A, B, and C. The continual improvement. The continual improvement of OHS performance, fulfillment of legal requirement and other requirement. Last but not the least, achievement of OHS objective. The system is made to make sure it will prevent work-related injury and control occupational health risk by various ways. So this is the scoped document. Next is the normative reference. Generally, this normative reference, when you see the normative reference, it state there is no normative reference. That means this document is not referred any particular standard. This is standalone still standard. This is the terms and definition, because you will be seeing various terms and definition that I have told you in our previous last 3 days, last three classes. What is meant by organization? What are interested party? If you remember, we have discussed thoroughly what are interested parties yesterday and day before yesterday also, as well as on first day. What are internal interested party? What are external interested party? How internal and external state interested party is related to internal and external stakeholder. So these are the definition which we want that everyone should go through. Already we have gone through, but these are the definition that needs to be taken care. What are the conformity, non-conformity? Previously we have discussed. What are the corrective action? What is meant by continual improvement? So terms and definition. In this way, we have completed yesterday only the terms and definition. Now, the next clause, the consecutive clause. That means the first clause. The rest of the clauses are known as auditable clauses. For example, clause 4, as you can see in the screen, which is, let me highlight it. Clause 4, which you can see in on the screen, is context of organization. Here, when I say, guys, so I've explained this yesterday also and day before yesterday, all the clauses, what does all the clauses wants to state. But for the better understanding, what we are doing will be going through each and every clauses on your on this side, on one side of your screen. You can see on one side of your screen, you can see the this side the standard document. On the other side is the checklist. So first is context of organization. When I say about context of organization, what I want to say is any organization or required to understand first of all and define OHS related terms. For example, internal stakeholder, internal interested party, external interested party, because this will help first of all organization, auditors, as well as you can say all the internal and external stakeholder to maintain common understanding and terminologies with respect to OHS management system, its circular hazards, and all those things. So let me take you to first auditable clause, which is the context of organization. So when you say about context of organization, this clause has four subclause. First is understanding organization and its context, wherein when I say or when ISO say understanding organization is and its context, it specifically define understanding external and internal issue. Yesterday we have discussed briefly what are the external issues and what are the internal issue, various example, and how these internal and external issues are related to the OHS management system, if you remember guys. So what I will do guys, what I'm planning, each set of clause required you to go through various set of documentation that needs to be reviewed. So we'll also list down what are the documentation that are required for each and every clauses. So I'm just asking on the comment section. So guys, do you want me to list down what are the document which are required for each clause, followed by the assessment, or shall I continue with normal? Out of 44, only two people wants me to list down the document required, and rest of the participants, guys, only three. If maximum people will say list down, then it will be good for all of us. Then I'd be more than happy to explain you all. Okay. As you all are very much interested for this, so what I'll do, I'll also list down what are the requirement of documentation. First, clause 4, which is the context of organization. As you can see, first of all, as an auditor, guys, again, now come to this particular standard. Now come to this side of the screen. Clause 4, context of the organization. So clause 4 is a context of organization. As you can see on the screen, first of all, internal and external issue needs to be identified, that we have highlighted here. So first is internal and external issues. Internal and external. Okay, first thing, when you go for an audit with respect to our clause 4, when you see, first of all, you have to identify what are the internal and external issues that needs to be identified. Yesterday, we have discussed thoroughly what is meant by internal and external issue, how they are dependent on OHS management system. Now, clause 4.2, understanding needs and expectations of workers and other interested parties. So then, and it has specifically defined organization shall determine interested parties first of all. So once we have identified internal and external issue, they become our interested party. So once we have defined them, we have to define what are needs and expectations. What are the needs and expectations of workers and other interested parties? Then 4.3. Then the 4.3 specify determining scope of OHS management system. When we say about scope of OHS management system, you can see that we have our safety management system and OHS management system. We have to make sure that prior to starting the management system, the scope is defined. Scope is basically the boundary within which the policy or the manual is applicable. Scope document. Then scope document that we want. And make sure while determining scope, we have to consider the internal and external issues. Then the 4.2, which is needs and expectations, needs to be taken care, and work related perform activity. Then scope document also should include work related activities, routine and non-routine. Routine and non-routine works needs to be identified. Okay, then we have final OHS management system is made. So now with respect to this, let us see when guys, what I would recommend you, parallel to this, try to take the snip. Try to take the snip of the clauses so that it will be better for you. We'll be sharing with you also, but for time being, I would recommend you to take the snip also. I hope you understand crit clause 4, guys. Any doubt? Because guys, I want a fast response because we have to complete all the 10 clause today. And if we'll give late response, so it will delay the process and might be possible we'll miss important stuffs. So guys, clause 4 is, do you have any doubt in clause 4, guys? Any doubt? At least say yes or no. So I'll be sure that you are attentive. Mr. Mohammed, Mr. Vishal, Mr. Amjad. Okay. So, okay, guys, thank you. So when you prepare checklist, then first we have to determine external and internal issues are identified or not. Have we identified external and internal issue? Do we understand need and expectations of workers and other interested party? And when determining OHS management system, date 4.1, which is our internal and external issue, has been taken care. This is the things that we have to understand. Then did we consider 4.2? 4.2 specifically state about needs and expectations. Routine and non-routine work has been identified. So these are the thing, and minimum these are the document. Guys, I would also want request everyone to take the snip also at the same time of clause 4 document, because it will be better for us. Then we will go to clause 5. Clause 5 is something which is related to the leadership, guys. Because if you want to implement an OHS or occupational health and safety management system, clause 5 will become much more important because it will focus on the top management, the role of top management in demonstrating leadership, commitment, and accountability for OHS management system. And when you deep dive into the clause 5, you will understand it also required organization to establish policy, first of all, the responsibility, and all the other necessary documentation. So when you see clause 5, first of all, leadership and commitment. We have to revolve around. Now see the checklist, guys. So guys, are you comfortable the way I'm teaching? Because we are doing three things at the same time. We are identifying the document, we are carrying the checklist, and we are also reading the clauses. Are you comfortable with this, guys? Or you are getting resonate all of the three cases? If you are getting resonated, so we'll do only one or two things. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. And rest other guys? Okay, it's clear. Okay. That only I want to understand, because guys, what happened? People might be facing any difficulty because we are also seeing the standard, at the same time we are seeing the checklist, and we are also preparing the documents required. Okay, great. Then we'll proceed with this way only. Thank you. This is only what I want to understand. Okay, clause 5. Clause 5 is something which is related to the leadership role. First and foremost thing, guys, is the is top management has taken responsibility and accountability of workplace health and safety outcome. So I want to understand, if you want to understand the organization's intent towards the, or the top management intends towards the health and safety, how will you understand as an ISO auditor? In what way you can understand? I'm repeating my question. If you want to understand top management intents towards OHS policy, you are an auditor, you have gone for an audit for ISO 45001 audit, and you want to understand the top management intent towards ISO 45 towards the occupational health and safety. How will you gauge? How will you identify? In what way you can understand? Because you have to see clause 5 requirement. And in order to fix the clause 5 requirement, you have to see this. What are the ways? There is commitment to safety, okay. And how will you understand the commitment to safety? Mr. Charles will go through their policy. How will you understand the commitment, and what will happen, Mr. Mohammed, if you go through policy? Because if you go through policy, policy could be drafted very easily. But if the policy is signed by not top management, a normal manager, senior manager, or general manager, it could become a non-compliance because the top management is not involved in the policy. So you have to make sure when you see OHS policy, it should be signed by their top management. Responsibility towards compliance. Yes, Mr. John. So, for example, this is a very good point. So, guys, for example, if you want the responsibility, you can see the occupational health and safety management system. Occupational health and safety management system has roles and responsibility section with regards to the requirement of ISO also, that will be coming in the upcoming upcoming what we say, the clauses. So we'll be seeing OHS policy, but we have to see OHS policy is being signed by the top management. Yes, all the things. Yes, we can see. Yes, Mr. Vakas. Great. So we have to see, guys, we have to understand, for example, if there is an incident, if there is an incident, incident report is prepared. But is the incident report closed? If there is a major incident, is the incident report closed? If the root cause has been identified, if the root cause is not identified, we can anticipate that the top management is not very concerned about the occupational health and safety management system. We will also be, we can also see occupational health and safety objective, because top management intents could come very clearly if you'll see the occupational health and safety objective. This is what our point 2 is trying to say: occupational health and safety policy and objective. Then our occupational health and safety requirement integrated with organization day-to-day process. The statement which wants to say is, for example, if your organization has a confined space entry, but when an auditor review your occupational health and safety management system, he or she identify that confined space entry has been not taken care as a critical movement. So what will happen, guys? what will happen in this case, the OHS policy, it could is not integrate. The OHS plan is not integrate with the day-to-day activity. So you have to understand routine and non-routine work is in line with the OHS management system. This is what I'm giving an example. You can see n number of document. Now, all resources are readily available for OHS, occupational health and safety. Resource could include manpower. Resource could include your PPE. What could be the additional resources, guys? Safety infra. This could be an important resource. What could be the other resource, guys? Come on, Mr. Wakas. What could be other resources? Equipment, okay. Tools, PP, food, restroom, great. Yes. So, sir, when you say machinery, so you have to understand we should not confine ourselves to machinery. We have to confine like machine guarding is available or not. Guard could be one of the resource. This is what I want to say again and again. As an HSC personnel, or as an ISO auditor, we have to understand that we are very thorough what we are writing. If we are writing machinery, so we have to make sure the machinery could be a resource, but a machine guard is critical resource to an occupational health and safety. If we have provided machinery, but we have not provided a machine guard, it will be of no use, and it could be suffixed non-requirement of the resource section. Yes, rest other examples are good, great. Then is the importance of OHS management system communication to whole organization. For this, you can see the training, TBT, for example, a TBT, safety movement, safety stand down, all these things, or other safety session. The OHS management system needs to be introduced, like policy and other things. Then we have to a person directed and supported contribute to OHS goals, which specify try to tell the roles and responsibility. What are the roles and responsibility? I'm doing the short form roles and responsibilities, because for example you have HSE objective or occupational health and safety objectives for your workplace, but that particular objective is not assigned. That particular objective is basically not assigned to any person. So what will happen, the roles will not be able to direct in the one place. So you have to understand the responsibility has been given against each and every objectives or targets against the set KPI. Is continually improvement is being promoted. When I say continual improvement is being promoted, we have to understand what ways or what ways the management is contributing towards the upliftment of OHS management system, be it various safety events, be it updating the safety infra, or if the top management is on safety training every month or every quarterly, so it will tell the intent towards of the management towards a continual improvement of OHS management system. Other relevant roles and empower to demonstrate the leadership that we have discussed again and again. Is OHS focus on culture being developed and promoted? So again, you have to see awards and rewards. Yes, you have to see the awards and reward, Mr. Alam. Nice point. Our worker assured that they will praised for reporting incident hazard risk. So reporting as an ISO auditor, you have to also see how is safety reporting, be it an incident, be it near miss, or be it a safety observation, is being managed. If a worker is very much threatened that if he or she will report any process safety incident, for example, to the top management, the people at the ground level could hamper him. So he or she will never report all these things. So we have to understand the reporting chronology or reporting way for any unsafe act or conditions. Consultation and participation. So I hope you remember we had discussed thoroughly on our day two about consultations and participations of the workers. So it is very important to understand is the organization has a SOP for consultation and participation of worker. And how you can see, first of all, we can see the SOP. So we have to understand that all health safety environmental policies or responsibility with regards has been communicated to everyone. So we have to see communication document. So I'm giving you an example. In my previous organization, when I was with Shaburji Palunji Oil and Gas, so what we used to do, whenever we do mail or whenever top management does an email, then what happened? A communication, a policy is always attached with their mail. A policy link. If you click the link, a company will direct you to the OHS policy. So in this way, we used to communicate or subconsciously communicate the OHS or occupational health and safety policy. Then we are the goals we have discussed. Reporting we have discussed just above. Competency requirement. So here we have to understand uh, if a person, if I'm recruiting if for example, if a person who will giving you training, if I will be not aware of ISO 45001, or I am not certified, if I am not trained about ISO 45001, it's 100% possible that I would not able to teach you. I will be not confident in front of you guys, because I was not confident enough, and I, because of this, I'm not competent. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? For example, if a person is giving you ISO 45001 training, and if the person himself is not certified ISO 45001 auditor, then he would be not competent to give you training. So competence, how can you see the competence? Competency metrics, for example, you can see the competency metrics. You can ask the HR the competency metrics. Apart from this, you can ask the HR their hiring procedure. You can see the job description prepared for HSC people, HSC guys, or occupational health and safety guys. If they don't have any job description, it is 100% sure that, or there is maximum chance that the hired people will be non-competent. So competency matrix could be a reason, could be a document. Interviewing with the HR to understand what are the other ways they are hiring through job description. This could be other ways. Now, control measure. What are the control measures to determine and implement? So for control measure, you can see, for example, CAPA, corrective and preventive action register. Therein we have identified all the required control measure to prevent reoccurrence. Last but not the least, guys, incident conformities investigation with corrective action taken. This we have discussed yesterday. You can, so these are the minimum required document, guys. There are other documents also, but these are the minimum required document. So till now, we have gone through both of these clauses. We have understand clause 4 and clause 5, what are the document required. If you want, you can take the snip of the document required. It will be beneficial for you guys. And I wanted to ask, is there any doubt in clause 4 and clause 5, guys? I want quick answer, because so that we can move to another clauses, because total 10 clause we have to cover. Rest 5 clauses are remaining. Okay, thank you. So guys, I would like to request one thing. uh our team member will be is constantly updating a WhatsApp group link on the chat box. So I would request everyone to join the group, and we will be keep updating you with the upcoming sessions and the training for ISO 45001 in the group itself. Now, moving on to the next clause, which is clause 6, which is planning. So when I say about planning, so you have to understand, guys, the occupational health and safety management system. If you want to implement an occupational health and safety management system, it is very important for you to have a documented plan with all the management people. Because if you have no plan to implement occupational health and safety management system, or no roadway, or no roadmap for, sorry, so it will be not that much efficient. So it's very important. That's why ISO has dedicated a specific clause, clause 6, for the planning. If planning may require systematic, it when you see planning, you will seeing the systematic identification of occupational health risk and their opportunity, determining legal requirement and other requirement, carry out OHS objectives and targets. Because until and unless we did not identify all these things, we will be not able to plan. Yes, sir. I've shown on the screen. Can you take the snip, or at the last, now I'll show all the clauses all together. Don't worry. So you can take one time snip for all the clauses. So first of all, planning include action to address risk and opportunities. First of all, risk and opportunity register. It is self-explanatory. This is one of the things that you can address, risk and opportunity register, that I have told you on the first day of the training. Risk, what is meant by risk and opportunity register? I'm giving you an example. If the company has limited PP, we have 100 people and I have 50 safety heads. So 50 safety heads additional is missing for other people, and there are risks for various serious incidents. So it is a risk. What is the opportunity in this? Opportunity is that we can provide safety helmet and reduce the risk of incidents. So this way, company prepare risk and opportunity registers for themselves. So risk and opportunity register is one of the thing. Now, when planning OHS management system, organization shall consider the issue referred in 4.1 that we have already discussed. 4.2, this is the 4.1 that we have already discussed. 4.2 and requirement in 4.3 that we have already discussed. Then, when determining risk and opportunity, organization shall systematically identify intent of outcome like hazards, OHS risk, and other risk. Apart from risk register, guys, what else? Or you can see to identify the hazards or to identify other concerns with respect to risk and opportunity. What are the other registers you can see, guys? Give me some example. Or what are the other document? HAZOP. Can we see this, guys? JSA, okay. HIRA, HAZID. So these are the things that we can see in continuation with risk and opportunity. Legal register. So now come back to checklist. Now, do we ensure OHS management system can succeed the continually improve? That we can see. Have we built a simple and scalable risk management and hazard identification system? So guys, for this first you have to screen various things. It's not a single statement. So how will you identify, guys, when the checklist asks, have we built a simple and scalable risk management and hazard identification system? For this, first of all, you'll be seeing the risk management and hazard identification plan, because until and unless company has not prepared plan, they could not prepare other. So SOP for risk management, it is very important, guys. So apart from this, guys, how you will identify, can anybody tell me? So guys, there are more than 50 people but nobody is telling. Nobody wants to tell anything, guys. Okay, so point number 2, if I say, have we built a simple and scalable risk management and hazard identification system? If I ask this, so what are the documents you can see? One example I have given, SOP for risk management. What are the other documents that you need to see for this? Safety plan. Okay, great. Okay, and anybody else, guys? So someone is asking, what is the difference between HAZOP and HAZCAM? Mr. Tipoko. So, sir, when I say about HAZCAM, we have to understand this is specifically for chemical, be it transportation, be it storage of hazardous chemical. And when I say hazard and operability studies, it is for the process industry, oil and gas. So this is done by, for example, when I say HAZOP, it is with respect to process safety like pressure safety valve, pressure relief valve, other choke valve, and all these things. Okay, so safety plan is example. Great. Next is the outlined document. Is the outlined document who is responsible and why they are responsible for. Okay, so roles and responsibility. I'm writing short form, roles and responsibility, RR. So, guys, whenever you go for an HSC audits, for ISO audits 45001 or any audit which in line with the requirement of ISO 45001, you have to make sure every SOP, every plan, every procedures, and every other documented thing with respect to safety has assigned roles and responsibilities. Because if a document is not assigned with roles, yes, KPI also, for KPI also, we have to define roles and responsibilities. If it is not assigned, then there are clauses in ISO for which it may comes non-compliance. It may come non-compliance. Yes, for objectives and targets also, guys, we have to assign roles and responsibility. So I hope we have discussed this on our second day of the training. What are the objective and targets and how they are being assigned and how they are linked with the KPIs, if you remember. So are all policy procedure Documents are up to date and readily accessible. So you have to see the policy documents in that case. Do we prevent, reduce undesired effect? Have we determined risk and opportunities that we have discussed? Ensure change, plan, unplanned occur in the control way. Change management for this, what are the things? Change management procedure. Management of procedure. For management of change, we have a specific clause that we'll be seeing in upcoming slide, guys. Our ongoing and proactive process hazard identification are established that we have already discussed. Does we include social factors like workload and all these things, guys, that we have to see? Have you identified people with access to the workplace and their activity? Then again, it comes with the requirement of internal stakeholder that we have already covered. Do we identify people with access of the workplace and their activity? All these things needs to be identified. Do we identify those in the vicinity who can be impacted by our activity? For this, what example I can give you, guys? Like, do we identify those in our vicinity who can be impacted by our activity? So we can see, for example, work permit. So when you see a work permit, guys, in work permit, there's a section of the affected party from our work. I'm doing welding work, there's a section who could be affected by our work. So the affected party is there. So in this way, we can identify the people who could be impacted by our work. All legal documents are up to date and readily accessible. So scale for this, we can see legal register. First of all, followed by legal register, we can what we can do, we can all for with respect to this, what we can also show the legal documents also. Is it up to date? For example, we can say that legal register include fire NOC. We can see the fire NOC. Is the date has been exceeded for the NOC or not? So here we have completed clause 6. Any doubt, guys, till clause 6? Any doubt, guys, till clause 6? Okay. So guys, how many of you will be going for this certification? Can you give me a thumbs up on the comment? Great, okay. Only 3 to 4 people, guys. Because see, guys, in upcoming time or in once you will get promoted, because if you be you be if you are a supervisor also, be if you are HSC supervisor, if you are an HSC officer or an HSC engineer, once you will be getting promoted, then it will be become mandatory for you guys to have an ISO 45001 certification. If you want to be an HSC corporate senior executive, corporate HSC head, an ISO 45001 auditor, or a consultant, or an ISO auditor or consultant, or HSC auditor, the ISO 45001 requirement is the minimum bare thing. If you want to be, if you don't believe in me, guys, so you can just go to the LinkedIn, you can search for the jobs or the opening for HSC engineer, auditor, trainer, or ISO auditor, ISO consultant. Maximum post have requirement of ISO 45001, and this certification is backed up by IIRSM, International Institute of Risk and Safety Management. It will impact your CV a- as well as your knowledge. Okay, when I say support, guys, now we will be moving on to the clause 7. Okay, so when we say about support, guys, so we have to understand it cover all types of supports which are necessary to maintain OHS management system. So can you give me examples of supports that are required for the OHS management system? Any example, guys? Any example, guys, that would be support? Okay, training, induction, okay. Financial support, great, good point. Awareness. So first of all, you will be requiring resource. Here you can see the 7.1 clause specifically states about the resource. Let me make one more this thing. Yes, management support. Yes, implementation support. Great. Okay. Yes. So first of all, you need a resource to having support. First, you will be first you will be requiring resource. If you are an HSC manager and to implement occupational health and safety, you require five or for example, let's say six EHS personals, but the management has given you only three EHS personals. So obviously you are having lack of resource. So it's important to have the resource. So organization shall determine and provide resource needed for establishment of OHS management system. This resource could include can be your personal protective equipment. This resource could be your manpower requirement. This resource could be your legal assistance, anything which will uplift the OHS management system. Once we have provided a resource, second is competency. So when I say about competency, let's see it by an example. If you require six EHS personals for the job, but the management has given instead of six, 10 EHS personals, but they are not competent enough. So somehow your OHS management system will not implement effectively. Let me give you another example. If a person is giving you an ISO 45001 lead auditor training, for example, guys, if a person is giving you an ISO 45001 lead auditor training, but he or she is not certified with ISO 45001, or if a person is carrying out HSC audit, but he is not certified by ISO 45001, might be possible the people can anticipate that he or she is competent or not. So you have to see competency. And how you will see the competency, guys? You can see the competency metrics. You can see the competency metrics. You can see the induction record, or you can see the if companies carry out internal examination, you can see the internal safety examination records. So in this way, you can see. Now we also require awareness. It is a requirement of 7.3. Awareness. How you can identify awareness? We have to make sure workers are being made aware of OHS policy and OHS objective. First and foremost thing, we have to make sure their contribution to effectiveness of OHS management system is available. So all are things are the part of it. Yes, induction training records, no issues. Yes, you can see, sir. Yes, these are the records, sir. These are the records. So open consultation with workers. Yes, these are one of the thing. Great, guys, great. Now, so guys, what I am doing, I'm touching each and every clause, and with respect to each clause, I'm giving you the training on the checklist which we have prepared. So what I would recommend you, once the training is finished, also go through each and every clause every day, because if you will going through each and every records, each and every clause every day, it will be act as a bible for you guys when you go for an audit, be it internal or be it external. Then it is the communication. In ISO, communications are of two types that we have discussed yesterday. One is the internal communications, and another is the external communication. When I say about internal communication, what I want to say is those communications which are done by internal stakeholders like workers. And when I say as an external communication, then and external communications are those communications which are done by external stakeholders. For example, government bodies. So you can see one is the internal communications and another one is the external communication. This will be an external communication, sir, because it we what we are doing, we are communicating outside the boundary of our scope. Then comes your documented informations. So in case of ISO, guys, be it ISO 45 or be it any other ISO standard, document is something which is very, very, very important and very critical. It is minimum requirement that document should be should be acknowledged by each and everyone, and there should be a document management system to control the document management or control system that needs to be there, because without a valid document control system, your documentation would not be controlled and it could be go through to outside the scope or outside the company whom you don't want, be it a rival company. So it's very important to have a document control which include this. You can see there's a creating and updating document, control of documented informations. So let us go through the checklist again, guys. Are we established, implement and maintain continually improve OHS management system that we have gone through? Great. Have we determined necessary competency required for every role? For this, we can see the competency metrics. We can see the job description, or we can say the JD are appropriate as evidence for competencies. We have just discussed this thing. For competency, we can see the metrics. are competent on their education, training, and experience. For this, we can see the JD, because JD include all the things. What are the minimum required educations? What are the training required minimum, be it ISO 45001 certification training or anything? What are the experience? So all of these things comes under the job description. This we can conclude by taking various interviews with the workers. Do workers know their roles and responsibilities? So this again we can do it by carrying out an interview. Benefit management system, okay. Worker are informed of the relevant incidents, investigations, and outcome. That previous clause we have identified how we are any stand communicating it with the workers or not. Are worker aware of risk, hazard, and action? So guys, all these parts, you can see one thing is common in all these part. These are the part of internal communication. Okay, guys, are these a part of internal communications or external communication, guys? Come on. Are or external communication, guys? Internal. Okay. Internal. Okay. Great. Okay. That only I want to understand. So it's quite evident, guys. You are understanding each and every clauses of this section, or I can say each and every clauses of ISO 45001 requirement. What I would recommend you guys to get certified also in this certificate. In for this certificate, do the workers know their right to remove themselves from hazardous situation? Is all the worker informed document as per ISO 45001? Are the process for internal and external communication created? That I guess we have identified a process of internal and external communication. Let me see. Support SOP for internal SOP for internal and external communication. Sir, please explain me another source. So, Mr. Vipinji, you want to understand external communication or what? Mr. Vipin, are you able to hear me? Do you want to understand external communication? You So, Mr. Vipin, see, ISO specifically states about two type of communication. One is internal and another one is communication. We say about internal communication, these are those communication which are done with internal stakeholders like employees, workers, laborers. For example, toolbox talks. These are internal communication. When I communicate with any legal authorities, for example, a factory act of factory workers, or the factory manager, government appointed factory manager, comes came in my workplace and identify some non-compliance, then I have to give reply them. I have to give them reply against the non-compliance. So I'll be communicating outside of my body and outside of my zone or scope of the boundary. So those communications are external communications. I hope you understand, sir. Mr. Vipin, I hope you understand the difference between internal and external communication. Okay, great. Communication document, genders and all this taken care of, diversity aspects has been taken care. All the document are retained and up to date and accessible. When I say about retain, you have to make sure all the documents have their document number first of all. This is one of the thing. Is approval, approved by, reviewed by, and checked by. And followed by this, document should be uh, accessible to all the interested parties. That's very much important requirement. For example, we can say OHS policy. For example, if OHS policy is prepared, okay, great, has been assigned a document number. Who prepared him, who review him has been already assigned, but it is not easily accessible to the interested parties. Then it will be a major non-compliance against internal communications. Are documented protected from loss of confidentiality, improper use, or loss of integrity. This again will come under the documented document management system or document management SOP. For this, you have to review. So till now, this much we have covered. You can see the screen. So guys, as you can see my screen, we have covered clause 4, 5, 6, and 7. And we have also identified minimum required document in each clause. Do you have any doubt till here, guys? From clause 4 to clause 7? Anything with respect to documentation and anything? So guys, there are many people. 54 people are there on only one. Mr. Vipin is only written yes. Guys, for other people, do you have any doubt? Good to go. Okay, great. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Okay, great. Now, clause 8. When I say about clause 8, or when you read clause 8, what you will understand, the clause 8 focus on basically implementation and operation control of occupational health and safety process. So it deals with, for example, clause 8 specifically deals with like SOP or permit to work or job safety analysis, contractor safety record, procurement, purchase, or management of change. So it is something which deals with the operational safety. So operational safety and process safety are two different things, guys. Don't combine both of these things. So first and foremost, for clause 8, operation planning and control. You can see the journal from the journal itself. It said organization shall plan, implement, control, and maintain a process needed to meet requirement in OHS management system and to implement action implemented in clause 6. So clause 6 was planning, guys. You remember? Clause 6. This is the clause 6. I'm reading once again. The organization shall plan, implement, control, and maintain the process related needed to meet the requirement of occupational health and safety management system and to implement the action determined in clause 6. So these are the actions that are minimum determined in clause 6. These are the documented action. So first of all, what we have to do, establish criteria for the process. For example, if you want to do a risk and if you have a risk and opportunity register, you have to establish the SOP to create and to update risk and opportunity register. Same thing with HAZOP, HERA, JSA, HAZIT, and other things. Point number two, guys, implement control of the process in accordance with the criteria. And third, second last point is to maintain documented information. We have to maintain the documented information and have to make sure the workers are adapting to this particular identifications. Is it clear to everyone, guys? Okay. Clause 8, guys, are the process needed to meet OHS management system requirement established, implement, and control and maintain. Are the document maintained to confirm process have been carried out as planned? Is work adapted to the workers, be it ergonomics or anything? Has been work easily adapted to employ, understand using engineering control and all the things? So it everything, right? So it focuses basically when you see the operation slide, you'll understand it focus on implementation first of all, or be it a routine activity or be it a non-routine activity. This clause deals with the operations. And in order to see this again, what we have to do, first of all, work instruction is one of the things that define the operations. So guys, I just want to ask one thing. Am I explaining very speed? Is my pace good or is high? Are you able to understand, guys, what I'm trying to say? Is my pace very speed? Because I have to complete clause 8, 9, and 10, and we have limited time. Okay, thank you, sir. So, guys, you can see in our comment box, our team is constantly updating a WhatsApp group link. You can see our team is updating WhatsApp group link. So just join the WhatsApp group link, and you have any technical problem while joining, you can just see the below number, which is number below the WhatsApp group link. So work instruction could be one thing. Apart from work instruction, what we additional stuffs we can see on the particular clause are like SOPs, JSA implementation. We have to see the implementation of all these things, guys. Make sure MOC records, emergency response plan, because this specify about management of change, this thing that we have to go through. And we also have to see the procurement, which specify that organization shall establish, implement, maintain a process to control procurement of product and services in order to ensure their conformity for OHS management system. So this thing what it want to say, guys, I'm giving you an example. Back on the day when I was working in Shapurji Palunji Oil and Gas. So for the head office, what we used to do, if any procurement, if the purchase department procure any machines for offshore or any equipment for offshore, it needs to be reviewed by QHSE department. If QHSE department find any loophole or any non-conformance in the procurement process or the procurement item or the company which is producing or the OIM, the HSE department can deny the procurement, the purchase of the particular product. So in this way, the purchase or procurement has been integrated with the OHS management system. Are you able to understand what I was trying to say? I hope you all understand. Do employee understand using administrative control, including training? So all of the things, guys, with personal protective equipment, you if you see the checklist, you'll see it is all these things are linked with the operational procedures, procurement operational procedures, safety operational procedures, HERA risk assessment operational procedures, all of the things. Emergency preparedness and response is in clause 8.2. Whenever you go for an audit, if for an HSC audit or other audit with lining with the requirement of ISO 45001, if you are reviewing the emergency response plan, you have to review based on the clause 8.2. So guys, any doubt till clause 8? Great. I hope guys you have enjoyed this session, this 4-day training course. Great. Now is the performance evaluation, which is the second last clause. Performance evaluation. So when I say about performance evaluation, it basically required organization to monitor and measure, because till now, guys, what you have done, you have implemented all the important OHS management system, be it be it risk and opportunities, or be it the control measures, be it other audit, be it mock drill, be it emergency response procedure, be it plans. You have implemented each and everything. Now you have to monitor the performance, because until and unless you will not monitor the performance, you will be not able to identify, or you will not able to understand how you have, or what is the level of your implementation. So you understand, guys, what I was trying to say for clause 9? Or do you have any doubt till now for the specifically to clause 9? So guys, did we understand what is clause 9? The performance evaluation? Okay. So when I say about performance, how you can evaluate the performance? F- Most easiest way is by understanding or by creating the KPI, key performance indicator. Yes, Mr. Ruler, great. KPIs, comma, objective and target, all the things that needs to be measured. Yes, leading and lagging indicators, or else anything else? Anything else, guys? Internal audit, management review, dashboard. Because our dashboard, when you see HSC dashboard, sir, Mr. Sujit accident incident rate will come into the under the dashboard only. So for one shot, I've written HSC dashboard. You will be having your risk assessment. Yes. Near miss reporting. Yes. If near miss reporting is gradually you are giving awareness of for report near miss, and it has been gradually increased, it will be a good sign. You can also have like your health surveillance record, HSR. Okay, great guys, great. You're doing actually good, guys. So performance evaluation. And it also state about like if you're monitoring your calibration record should be there or not, guys? Guys, I have a question. The calibration record should be there or not? For example, you are having a confined space entry, and you are inspecting the environment uh, through a monitor. It needs to be calibrated. So you understand monitoring, measuring, analysis of the performance and performance evaluation, guys. I hope. Now, evaluation of compliance. 9.1.2 you can see on your screen. Compliance evaluation records. We have our internal audit that we have already identified. Once we have internal audit, we only not need to see internal audits, guys. We have to also see internal audit plan. Additionally, we have to also see the internal audit checklist. If they are using checklist, what type of checklist are they using? So internal audit program. We have management review that we have already seen. So here we have completed till clause 9, guys. Okay. See, you can see in the checklist also. Have we determined method of monitoring, measuring, and analysis? Have we determined criteria against the OHS performance will be evaluated? Calibrating equipment needed to establish that calibration record. If you remember, we have also gone through a calibration record. Your corrective and preventive actions, your legal, it could be your legal compliance, various analysis report. So basically, what it want to say is that you have to make sure that your implemented HSE management system or occupational health and safety management system, to be very specific, is continually improved all the time. So when you say about improvement, you have incident, accident, non-conformity, and corrective actions that needs to be improved all the time. Now let's see the checklist which we have developed. Have we determined opportunities for improvement? OIF, opportunity for improvement. You can see the risk and opportunity register. Risk and opportunity register will have various opportunity for improvements. Risk and opportunity register are process in place to report, investigate, and take action of incident and non-conformity. Accident reporting, SOP for accident investigation or incident investigation could be one of the thing, guys. I'm giving you one or two thing, guys, one or two example report that you have to review. There could be n number of report. It could be an incident. When incident or non-conformity occur, did we act timely fashion? So can you explain risk and opportunity register? So sir, I have explained today also and yesterday class also. In our yesterday class, if you remember, I have explained the importance of risk and opportunity register, wherein I have given you various example. And let's I can explain you with an example. Let me give you an example, guy. Example, sir. So for example, you are having 100 manpower in count. For those 100 manpower, you have only 50 safety heads. So there is a high risk for other people who will be not having safety head of high incident rate or high head injury to them. So it is a risk. In this particular risk, what is the opportunity? The opportunity is you can provide additional 50 manpower safety heads so that incident rate could be decreased. So this risk provide this opportunity. I hope you understand, sir, what I was wanted to say you. Mr. Samsung SM SN28B, I hope you understand what I wanted to say you. You understand, sir, between difference between risk and opportunity? When an incident non-conformity occur, do we act in a timely fashion? For example, this we can see incident record. Apart from this, we can see mock drill report so that we can understand if something come up, did everybody done their work properly or not? Do we learn taken action so that incident don't happen again from previous incidents? Do we measure our reaction and finding ways to improve? Do we retain documents showcasing the nature of incidents and non-conformities? Do we retain document showing the subsequent action taken in case of any incidents? Did we retain documents showcasing result and effectiveness of any actions? Are we enhancing occupational health and safety performance as part of continual improvement? So all this part are with respect to continual improvement. Did we promote OHS focused culture? This will automatically help us to be continually improved with respect to OHS management system. Encouragement and rewarding. Continually improvement results are communicated to the worker. This will be part of internal communications. Are documents that prove continually improvement maintained or retained? So there are various documents that you can review to understand the continually improve has been maintained or retained. So let me bring all these things once on a single place, guys. Clause 4, clause 6, clause 7, clause 8, clause 9, and clause 10. So guys, I hope it was a good training for you all. We have covered till clause 10, and today we have also discussed about the checklist and documents that are required for successful audit of ISO. Do you have any doubt till now, guys? There are 53 people, guys. Do you have any doubt? How was the session, guys? Do you like the session? Did you like the session? Thank you, thank you. I hope everyone will I hope everyone will take the certifications. Guys, kindly take the snip if you want of the documents that are required that we have prepared. So, so guys, thank you everyone to join this training session. I hope I hope everybody will everybody have joined the WhatsApp group link, which is shared by one of our colleague. Kindly join in that WhatsApp group link. We will be keep updating about the certification in that link only. Thank you guys. Thank you everyone. So guys, clause 1 2 3, Mr. Someone is asking. So clause one. Yes, yes, it will be better if you'll go through paper and examination method, because Mr. Vikas yesterday you were also asking that the certification how it will help you. This certification will be a proven document that you are aware, you know all the clauses of ISO 45001 and you can do audit for ISO 45001. Okay, great. Thank you everyone. Thank you everyone that you joined the session. I am signing off right now, guys. Thank you. You can also sign off.